Hey there, folks. So, last episode we went through and got the body temperature set up for our character. Not overly happy with it myself. There's still some fine tuning that needs to be done, but ultimately, it's a good groundwork to get things started. And that's a big thing with pretty much all your projects and every little component. Don't worry about getting things perfect, get them working to a degree. And once they're working, then you can worry about fine tuning and tweaking and getting things right. So, but, anyways, that little aside out of the way, this episode, I actually wanted to circle back. Actually, I'm going to hop back into Play an Editor, circle back and do a little bit of work on our inventory. Right now, this is the state of the inventory that we left. The buttons don't actually do anything, and there's nothing we can do with that. So I want to fix that. I want to start adding some components in there to at least start getting inventory content added in. So what we're going to do there, we're actually going to start in code. So I had to sit there and think for a second if there was anything on the editor side we needed to do. But no, we're going to start with some code. All right, and you done? Yep. Okay, so we've got the inventory component here. And right now, actually look. Sorry, wrong button there. Sorry, I just had to go deal with my dogs for a second. So there's a couple of things we need to look at with our inventory component. Let's pull my notes up here. So one of the first things is we don't have an owner. We need a way to identify which character or TF character actually contain or has this as its child. Yeah, as a child component. So first thing we're going to do, I'm actually going to add it in right in here. Copy that part. And this doesn't need to be save game, so there we go, grab that. So this is just going to be class ATF character pointer owner. I actually want to ensure that is a null pointer to start because we're going to use that for some check. So the next thing is we're going to want to add some functions in here, specifically two functions. And we want both of these to be blueprint callable. The first one is going to be a bool use item at index const int reference index. And the second one, ufunction blueprint callable, again a bool drop item at index, and the same thing, another const int reference index. So now that we have those two defined, we're going to go into and create the definitions, I should say. We have them declared, not defined. Now they're both defined. So now let's start adding some logic in here. So use item at index. Well, there's some checks we can do here. First one is if owner equal to null pointer. Well, we know we can't use an item, and the reason being for that, item base on use, we need to pass in the calling character so that the logic can be executed. So we need an owner. And the other thing we can do is just an out of range check, or index greater than inventory contents dot num, actually greater than or equal to, because num is a 1 base. So it will 0 means it doesn't have anything. 1, or the final number would be 1 plus the index of the last item, or the last index plus 1, however you want to word it. So both of these cases, we're not going to do anything. We are just going to return false. The next thing we're going to want to do is grab a copy of this item. So we want, how did we have these defined? These are the T array of subclasses. Okay. T subclass of, do we have UItem included in here? We do. We don't need class. And one too many of those. Item. And then what we want here is inventory contents index. So the reason why, actually, yeah, it's not going to work. The reason why we're doing this is right now we're going to just copy it out, make our modifications, and then depending, we're either going to remove it or we're going to shove this version of it in its place. So what we need now is item dot get default. Yeah, get default object. That is going to cast it back to UItem, so we can call these, which are these functions here. These are the ones we're interested in, I should say. And then what we want to do is on use owner. And let's see. I just quickly want to check something here. Consumable item base. Are we doing? No, we are not making any adjustments to stack size. So that's good. I wanted to double check I hadn't accidentally done that, or not accidentally, included that previously. Item dot get default object. Remove from stack. Yeah. We want to remove 1. Excuse me there. And then if I'm trying to think. Yeah, if item dot get default object get current, yeah, stack is equal to 0. Let's check that remove from stack. Where is it? Yeah, we're not doing anything there as well. I'm just wanting to make sure. So what we're doing here is, okay, have we consumed the stack? If we have, then inventory contents remove at, because we do have the index. And then we want to return true. Otherwise, we want to replace equals item. All right, so what we're doing here, just to step through this, and as I mentioned before, this is the whole like rubber duck. Rubber duck debugging, sorry. My brain is just not functioning on things right now. So we're checking to see, does our inventory component have a registered owner? If it doesn't, or if for some reason we're calling an index out of bounds, we're just going to say this didn't work. And then what we can do in here to do handle error logging. If we have an owner and the index is in bounds, I should say, we are going to get a copy of the item we want to work from. We're going to tell it we're using that item and passing through the owning character. We're going to remove one from the current stack of that item. Then we're going to see, okay, if this item has a stack of 0, we've used the last one, we're going to remove it from the contents, and we're going to say it succeeded. If not, we're going to just update the update the content. Actually, I'm going to change this. Let's just see if this is going to work. We don't even need to get an instance of it. I don't know why I was doing that. Oh, what am I doing? Nope. And then really what we're doing here, I just copy this. Don't need that because we're going to call it twice if we do. Because yeah, we don't need to create a copy of it. All right, so having now gone through that rubber duck debugging, I realized I could make my code a little more efficient. So part of the perks of doing that. So we'll work through this again. So we're checking, is our owner null, or are we having an index out of bounds? If we're going to have that, we're going to return false, handle error logging there. Otherwise, we're going to tell that particular item we're being used on this character. We are going to remove one from its stack, and if that current stack size is 0, we're going to remove it from our inventory content, and then we're going to say we're good. So now the next thing we're going to want to do is handle dropping the item. So this one is a little more involved because we do need to spawn an item. And what I'm going to do here, actually, we have our default constructor. I'm going to create an override constructor as well. And this one is going to take a uItem base, pickup vector, as an input. And there's a reason for this, and we'll see in a moment. Actually, no, we're not doing a... No, that's not what we want to do. Sorry, spawn logic doesn't work that way for me. I'm thinking code spawning, not like creating a new instance, not spawning. So ignore that little bit for now. So, okay, so anyways, here in our drop item at index, we can include this same little catch case at the start to make sure everything works, or make sure we're not going to have any weird bugs. The next thing we want to do is trying to think how I want to do this. Because I'm thinking, we have stack size? No. We're dropping. This is to drop a whole stack. Actually, I'm going to rename that. Drop stack at index. All right. Yeah. So just getting some things out of the way here. Okay, so what we want to do for now, and this is just to keep everything together. First thing we want is going to be, we want to create our spawn location. So we need an F vector, spawn lock equals, and in this case we want to look at our owner, get actor Oh, I am not derp. We need that. Owner dot get actor. Get actor location. So this is going to get the world location. However, that is going to get pretty much the dead center of your actor, and that's not what you want. What you want to do here is you want to offset that by a bit and have it a little in front of the actor. So what we're going to do is spawn lock plus equals. So let's just add this to. And I don't need to worry about pedmask for this. So it's owner get forward, get actor forward vector, gets the forward X vector length. Yes. But you want to add an offset to that because this, it's going to be like such a small amount. You want to multiply it by a factor of 10, maybe 20, depending how far in front of your actor you want it to be spawned. All right, and then what we want to do here is a TF pickup. Oh, we need to include that header as well, actually. So we don't have that in here, do we? No, we don't. So ATF pickup actor base pointer spawned item equals get world spawn actor. Now this actually, I just want to check because I had this issue here. Yeah, this is what we're wanting to do here. Yeah, create the default one there. ATF pickup actor base. Static class, yeah. ATF actor, or TF pickup actor base. Really IntelliSense? ATF pickup actor base. Static class. And then we want spawn lock. Does that need to be a reference? Is that the reference? No. That's not. Oh, transform. That's why it was working there. We don't want to adjust scale or anything, but F transform spawn trans dot location set location spawn lock. Okay. So, and then a couple of things we need to do here. Set mesh, set spawned, set pickup, set inventory item. So, a couple things we want to do here. However, we don't actually have this logic in place yet. So, well, actually we have this. So, spawned item set was spawned true. And this is going to, this one here, that's for our save game logic, where if it wasn't set to true, it's not going to get saved properly and cleared. So it'll get saved, it's not going to get cleared properly when you reload a game. Actually, it might with our load logic. But anyway, so we got that there. That's done. So we need some functionality, though, in our pickup item to set the mesh and set our inventory item. And for clarity, that is this world mesh and this inventory item. So we can just add those in real quick. Yeah, just in case. U function blueprint callable void set world mesh U static mesh world mesh set static mesh. And what are you complaining about there? Oh, it's the static mesh pointer. Yeah. So now, actually, no, I don't want this in the header. I was about to say I was going to go through the reason about declaring and defining functions in the header, but no, we don't need that. So we're going to define that in our source file. World mesh set static mesh to mesh. Simple as that. And then we want the same thing for our inventory item. Void set inventory item. Just paste that in there with item. Inventory item equals item. Yep. All right. So we're going to go back to our inventory component. We're going to go spawned item, set mesh, set world mesh, and now we need to address, well, pull that. So this is going to be the same index. Yep. I'm going to grab this. That is item base. We want, what do we call it? Get world pickup mesh. And then we want spawned item, set inventory item to, no, we need to pull it out of the array, I believe. So grab this. Pickup item. Remove at index. All right, so, oh, we need this to return true. Okay, so again, doing that rubber duck debugging. We're doing some error handling at the start. If our owner is null, or it's going to be an out of bounds array issue, sorry, out of array bounds. Nah. We're returning false and not trying to do anything. If those are both true and so both good and we pass, we're getting our owner's location. And this is why you do rubber duck debugging, is I had order of operations incorrect. We're taking, so I'll just explain that quickly so in case anyone didn't notice what I was doing. So we declare a variable spawn lock. We declare, and I'm going to clean this up actually. We declare transform spawn trans. We're setting the spawn's trans location to the spawn location, or spawn lock, but then we're adjusting spawn lock. So what we can do though is this equals that plus, and this is where I'm going to use bodmass, pedmass, whatever you want to call it, just for consistency. And we don't need that vector, and we don't need that there. So Okay, so going back to the debugging, rubber duck debugging, declare a transform, set its location to the actor's location and a forward percentile. We're spawning in the pickup actor. We're setting the mesh. We're saying it was spawned. We're pulling the item out of the, copying the item out of the inventory, clearing the item out of that. Actually, before we do that, I want to do this just in case. Pulling it out of the inventory, assigning that to the pickup item, and then getting rid of the item in the inventory. So, all right. So we're going to build this, and I will pause this, and I will be right back as soon as we're back in the editor. All right, folks, so we're back in the editor. Now, we do have some blueprint work we need to do before we can get started. So, let me come up, there we go. So, in here, we're in the third person UI. We're going to open our HUD and our inventory item. Move this back out of the way and bring those two over. So, we're going to start in our HUD. Now, the first thing I want to do actually is in here, we have this toggle inventory, and it's going through this logic here, which we need to clean up a little bit. First thing I want to do actually is this is going to get we can just put that all. So I'm going to select all of this here, not including the branch or the set visibility. And I'm going to hit Control X just to cut that out. In our functions, I'm going to create a new one. Refresh inventory widget. I'm going to paste this in here. And this one's pretty easy. We just need to clean this up a little bit. Going to just rearrange some of this. No, I need that there. Oh, that was my... No, I copied that over when I didn't mean to. So up here, I'm going to... Okay, we're going to undo a lot of this because I caught this widget, which I didn't mean to, and it broke some other stuff. So try this again, pull you down. There we go. Copy that, or cut that, refresh inventory widgets. Put an S on the end this time. Okay, paste that in here. So for ease, we're going to connect that in. Now there is one thing. This is from, I think this is the 4th time I've tried to do this episode. And every time I couldn't get it to work. And got frustrated, and like with the project, I abandoned what I was doing. However, I have pushed myself through, and I actually figured this out. So there is one change I did that I unfortunately left in because blueprints aren't in my source control. So I'll cover that in just a second here. And then from this, though, on the for each loop, off the complete, drag off and just type return, and you want a return node. So after that, we're going to go back to our event graph. We're going to drag in this new function, and from this true, we're going to connect it up, pass through, and put that to our set visibility. And we're going to compile that. Now we do need to add 2 other functions, or custom events. No, we'll do them as functions because they don't need to be treated as an event. So first function is going to be use item at index. And obviously we're going to need to take an input for that of an integer, which is going to be index. And then we are going to grab our inventory component reference, use item at index. And this is why we have a Boolean in here. It's for, part of it is for this. So we're going to branch off this. And if that worked, we're going to refresh our widgets. And the reason for that is we don't need to refresh our widgets every time. And it's computational power that you don't need to be using if it failed, because nothing changed. So I'm going to compile that. It goes through fine. And then the second one is drop item at index. Drop stack at index. Sorry, let's rename this. Drop stack at index. And the whole reason I'm using stack instead of item is because I want this to be clearly named so that we know, or any future person who may work on this knows that it's dropping the full stack, because it could have one item, could have 5 items. It's going to drop all of them. So, and again, we're going to just branch off that. And if that's successful, we're going to refresh our widgets. So now we've done that. We're going to hop into our inventory item widget. We're going to go under our graph. And this is where I had, like I said, from our previous attempts, what I had done is I included a reference to the parent container, which is, actually we need to fix. I don't think I fixed. Oh no, it is. So which is this pin here. And it's just the basic HUD is passing through to the widget, the inventory item widget. When it's created, it's like, okay, here's your parent item in this case. You could do something like get parent, but that just returns it as a widget, whereas it being a variable of the basic HUD, it doesn't need to be cast. So what we're going to do here, though, is we don't need to worry about our tick or our pre-constructs. We have our use button and our drop button. We're going to start with our use button. Select it in your variables, down in your details section. If you scroll all the way down to on clicked, and then we're going to get a reference to our parent, use item at index, and then we're just going to item data, get item data, break, pull over the item index, and then if you select this over here on the left, you have all of your pins, but you can just go hide unconnected pins, and it gets rid of all of the ones you're not using. That's compiled there. And then drop button, we're going to do the exact same, or almost the exact same. We're going to select our on click. I'm going to put this underneath. We're going to drop stack at index, connect this up, and we're going to throw that in there. So I'm going to compile, and then compile and save our basic HUD. I'm going to hop into Visual Studio quickly, and in our inventory component header, sorry, I was responding to a comment while it was loading, and I was looking at the stat line. In our source file, sorry, not our header, I'm going to throw a breakpoint at the use item at index start and on the drop stack at index. Oh, we're going to have a bug before I even try, where owner's still null. So actually, let's just go back to the editor quickly, close out of this, because this is a code change I want to make. Make sure everything's saved. Drop out of here. So this is something I'm actually going to also do this with the stat line component. There is a way you can set the owner without having to have it called. So where we go, TF character CPP. So right here you can see we've got this set movement comp reference. We don't need to do that. But anyway, so inventory inventory component. Wow, I am not able to talk this evening. So ATF character pointer T for, I use T for to represent for temporary, because it's with, and I'm doing that just because I need to for the way this logic it works. Equals cast ATF character. I didn't realize this function existed on components until I was doing some digging, and it's quite literally get owner. If I could spell. So what this is going to do is it's going to get the owning actor, and it's going to attempt to cast it to T owner, and that's the reason why we're having a temporary one here. If T owner does not equal null pointer, owner equals T owner. And because owner is a pointer, we're just literally moving the pointer information here. And we can do the same thing in our stat line component on begin play. Actually, no, I'm going to leave that because we're not, it's the movement component we're after, isn't it? TF character, I just had it. Yeah, it's the movement component. So you could do a similar thing, except you would just have to cast it to a character instead of a TF character. So this is working though. As much as I want to refactor, at the same time I want to keep this. I don't want to start changing code that's working right now, and that's something I would suggest. Because this is something that's caused me to abandon the project and restart I don't know how many times, is I'm like, oh my god, I looked at this, like I'll months down the line, actually it's nearly 2 months down the line at this point, actually I'll see this and like, oh, what was I doing? Why did I do it that way? I could do it in so many better ways. And I'd get frustrated and I'd be like, no, screw it, I'm going to start over. That was one of the many things that have caused me to restart the project. So recommendation, yes, I can do this 10 times more efficiently. Don't start rewriting. Do this. Refactor stat line comp to use get owner function instead. Add a comment in there, because every project you're going to have, I'm trying to think what term I want to use here, a cleanup pass before you do a release build. And those cleanup passes, sorry, I was just having a drink. Those cleanup passes are where you're going to come through and you're going to fix things like this. So with that though, we've gone through, and I'll just make my notes. Oh, there is one other thing we need to do here in our pickup actor. This is the other thing. In the episode where we did the spawning tree, we set it through blueprints, and that's where we need to set it here, actually. We need to enable physics. Otherwise, the item that we spawn in the world, when we drop something from our inventory, is just going to float in midair. So, world mesh, physics. Set simulate physics, that's it. And you want this to be true. Now, if you wanted to go through and say, have physics for a little while, and we'll say 2 seconds, and then stop, which is actually something I'm going to do. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm making a note on that one, actually, because do I want things? No, I'm going to leave physics for now, but if you wanted to turn this off, so say after 2 seconds your actor stops having physics enabled, you'd use a timer. So, but anyways, I'm getting really sidetracked with a bunch of different things. I'm going to rebuild this. Well, not rebuild. I'm going to run a build and hop back into the engine. Let's see how long. Okay, this isn't going to take long at all. And we'll take a look, make sure everything's working here. Because I know we're already at, what, close to 45? Yeah, we're almost at 45 minutes so far. Now, well, while this builds, no, it's built. Well, it's loading. So yeah, with that, you could set up a timer here, going back to the disabling physics, where you could have it after a second, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, however long you want. That physics calculation is turned off, and I'm going to look into that because physics can be a little processor heavy. Disable physics on timer. So, and that's actually another tip I will give you guys. I don't know if it's something that'll work for everyone, but it works for me. Probably because ADHD, look squirrel. Is have a notepad next to you on your desk or wherever you're working, and it could be a physical notepad, which is what I prefer. It could be Notepad++, and just take little notes when you think of things. Like, I've got a bunch of different notes here. Most of them make no sense, or wouldn't make any sense to someone who has no idea, but they make sense to me. So I would highly recommend a little notepad just to like jot things down as you're going. But anyway, so we are back in the editor here. I believe we're actually good to go. So I'm going to hit play here. Let's see, do we have any errors? Nope. I'm going to hop into first person. Actually, this episode I'm also going to turn that into first person default. We're going to harvest our berry bush, which is mushrooms. We're going to hit I for our inventory. What did we set our mushrooms to do, actually? Let's take a quick look here. Items, consumable, mushroom. Stat adjustments. Health -5, hunger plus, stamina plus, and thirst. So, jump around a couple of times, and then we should be good to go. Okay, so I'm going to close out of this, jump around a few times just to get our stamina down to a noticeable amount. We're going to hit I, we're going to hit use, and here we go. So you can see owner is not a null pointer. Our index is 0. Inventory content, expand that down. Raw view, yep. All right, so we're using that. Removing from stack. Stack is 0, so we're removing it from our inventory contents and returning true. So I'm going to continue. Now, it was hard to see everything else, but you see our health went down a bit. So actually, I'm going to stop. I'm going to remove this breakpoint because we know this is working. I'm going to go back to the editor. We're going to try this again. Pick up those, run over, hit I. We're going to use. You can see our thirst dropped and our health dropped. Now we do have an issue. Our inventory window is still open. You can tell because the cursor's there and we're not able to do anything. Hit I. It's just the downfall of how that works. Now let's see. I want to test. This might actually break. Pick up a log. Pick up log. Inventory. Use. Well, it doesn't do anything. So that's something we need to work on. We're going to probably do that next episode, actually. Again. Yeah, I don't have anything in my notes for that one. All right, so now let's work on the drop logic. So we're going to hit play one more time. And go back to first person because we're using our get actor location, which it's hard to see, but it's going to be right down here on actually, I think it's the center of the mesh. So I'll restart this. That time went fast too quickly. Actually, no, it should be right between the feet. So we're going to hit F to interact, move over a bit, hit I, and then drop. So we're good there. Spawn transform. Translation, which is your location. It's spawned. TF pickup actor base. Okay, so that all worked. I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to continue. And again, we're in the inventory, but there you can see we have, it's saying default. So we're going to have to expand our inventory information to also include that. So, all right, but you can see there we did drop, and that regrew. That's why that's back. So if we go into our inventory and drop, get out of our inventory, put F, that gets picked up, that gets picked up. Unknown mushroom. Our count is 0 though. Might have to work on that. But you can see there that has the basics set up for the pickup. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked trying to figure things out. So item pickup actor. Sorry, I'm just wanting to look why that's not getting transferred over properly. Harvest mushroom. Drop. Okay, let's eject out so we can pick this. Select that. It's got a GUID. It was spawned, which is good. We need that. Is that hidden? Pickup actor base. Inventory item. Edit defaults only. Okay, so we're going to need to make some tweaks there. All right, so that's a note just for, again, that cleanup pass. Why doesn't IntelliSense do that? Is interactable, well, mesh interaction. Interaction text. Yeah, so we're going to want to add to our item base some more information up here. Again, this is going to, I'm just going to grab this top one. F text, pickup text, not test, text. Text displayed when picking up from world. And then what we can do is in our pickup actor base, what did we call the interaction text? Interaction text equals inventory item. Oh, we need to expose that actually. Item base. F text get get pickup text const. Yes, I did. Hit insert. Return pickup text. Pick up text. get default object. Get default object. Get pickup. Item base. Don't have item base in here, that's why. No, I'm in the wrong header. The wrong file. Yeah, we have item base. Because I was treating inventory items a pointer. When it's not, that's my issue. Okay. Okay, so let's try this again. I'll build this one more time. Actually, nope. As I mentioned, I want to change this to be first person by default. So player character. ATF player character. So first person camera and full camera. So we want to deactivate our follow camera, and I'm going to uncomment that. And then where's our toggle? Toggle perspective. Be in first person. We want to default that to true. Input. I need to do some clearing up in here. So be in first person. True. All right. Build. All right, so this one might take a little more to build because we have changed a few different files here. It's detecting 13 different files need to be recompiled. We added some stuff to UItem base, or item base. That's why they're getting changes there. Consumable item isn't. Yeah. Anyway, so because this will be like another 20 seconds, I swear. So there we go. 8. Oh no, it's here. Oh, it's the error we've been getting all the time. 88 of inventory component. Yeah, that built. But line 88, what are you complaining about? Add item to stack. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at this. Anyway, so we're going to launch into the editor here. And if that is working, I will actually end the episode here. And we'll have another part where we do some more cleanup around this inventory stuff, because I know it's a bit of a mess. Things like fixing the being able to use a log which has no use whatsoever. So we should just be able to hit play here. Come on. All right. Oh, I am not in first person. I have to look at that. Move over, hit I, hit drop. Okay, so that is correct there. Interaction text didn't set up. Let's see. I didn't set it up. That'll be why. Where is it in here? Pickup text. Pick up mushroom. Compile and save that. Let's try this again. I have to figure out why my first person is behaving weird. Drop that. Continue. We're still in inventory. Pick up mushroom. Oh, there we go. Drop. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that breakpoint there. Inventory still there. Still causing some weird behavior. Okay, so that is working though. So drop that. Yeah, I need to figure out why that's... Is there a function we added if that isn't there? Update interaction text. Blueprint native, yeah. So I might be able to actually do that here. Let's go to third person. UI, open that up. I thought we added that to our interact actually in the player character. On interact. No, we didn't. Okay. That would be the reason why half of this isn't working. Okay, let's do a quick recompile. Live compile. Let's see if this works. I'm starting to dislike live coding more and more, so I may actually turn this off. Okay, let's see if that fixed our issue with the weird text staying on the screen. Pick that up, move that over here, drop you, close out of our inventory. Okay, that picked it up. Drop. Get out. There it is over there. Yeah. Okay, that fixed. All of that from one little bug. So. Alright, we're going to stop things there. That is working. So I'm going to close out of this. There is one other thing I want to do, and that is just fix a little thing with our temperature system that we worked in our stat line. Not the header, I want the source. And that is where we are calling update body temperature down here in tick. And that is, we never actually enabled or made use of that Boolean we added, where we can say, oh, we're worried about body temperature. So with that though, folks, I am actually going to end things off here. We've gone through in this episode, just quickly, we've covered sorting out our being able to use items from our inventory. Now that isn't, and drop them, but now that isn't fully complete because we do still have the issue of we're able to use things like the log from our inventory, which obviously we don't want to be able to do because that is not something that has a use. That's something that is there to be like validated that you are holding it so that you could place it in the world, sort of thing. I'm thinking like the forest and Son of the Forest, when you're building, like you carry a log, you put it down, things like that. So Anyways, folks, as always, thank you for watching. If there's any comments, questions, suggestions, concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I try to respond to every comment I get as quickly as I can. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.